Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar on how to build powerful use cases in Langdoc with our templates and skills. Templates and skills are features that we released in the past 1 to 2 months, and by now many of our customers and maybe also you have experimented with them, built some cool use cases with them. Internally, we've also been using them a lot. And I've also built for one other demo that I gave for a customer a couple of weeks back. I built a use case that I thought would be very cool to not only share with this customer, but also with every one of you. So that's why I thought about giving this webinar. So today's session will be about that exactly, showing you how you can build powerful use cases using these features, and also on how to use them together to kind of achieve these cool results in Langdoc. So what I'm going to do is in the beginning also briefly introduce our library, our templates, and also skills as part of this flow of showing you how these use cases work and how I approach them, how I build them. But there's also some more webinars that we already recorded in the past by my colleague Jan. So if you're not very familiar with these concepts, or you want to even go deeper into these specific topics, then I recommend you to watch these as well. They're also recorded and available online. That's today's topic, building powerful use cases with Langdoc templates and skills. And if I switch over to Langdoc now, the kind of first thing that you need to do when building use cases around these features is to come up with a template. And integrating a template into Langdoc is very straightforward. When you're here on the start screen, all you have to do is click on the Create Presentation button, and then you can already see that I have some templates here, but you can also use the Upload Template button to just upload any kind of slide master or reference slides that you would like to use as kind of the visual guideline for the slides that you want to generate with Langdoc as well. So if I click on Upload Template here, then I can just upload any file from my local device. In this case, we have this slide template. This is exactly the one that I already prepared there before the session. And if we wanted to have a look at it, this is what this kind of looks like, right? So it's like a very simple style guide of how our internal slides, but also sometimes customer-facing slides look at Langdoc. It's nothing complicated. We just have a slide deck. We have different sections with section headings. And then that's kind of the cool thing, right? Templates for different slide types in general. So we can, for example, have just a simple slide with text, but then also slides that contain columns, or slides that even have different illustrations with placeholders that we can use to make, generally our presentations more visually appealing. A big headline, some product screenshots that you could also do, and some more of these things, but it's very basic. You probably have this lying around anyways, and all you have to do is upload it into Langdoc the way I showed you. And then from this we generate a template. And the template is basically two things. It's on the one hand the file that you uploaded, because later on the model can use it and kind of duplicate slides from this, edit them afterwards, and so on and so forth. And it's also these instructions that you can see here, a concept which we will talk a bit more about later. But generally these instructions just help a model to work better with the slide template that you just uploaded, so that it knows, for example, the first slide in the slide deck is the master slide. It's likely just for some styling information, so do not use this when creating a presentation. Or if you go a bit further down, slide 8, the product screenshots, use this whenever you capture a product screen. And then the model can easily understand, okay, slide 8, do I need to use it or not for the use case that you will have later? Because these templates are reusable. You can share them with everyone in your workspace or specific groups, individual users. And building such a nice template is also something that's very scalable. So you could even manually extend these instructions, add some more context that is not captured here. This is all generated by a model based on the slides, based on looking at the slides. So feel free to also fine-tune this and iterate on this as you work with these templates. But we just, we don't have to save this one. I already created one of these on this side. And now we have these templates available. And the first thing that we could do now is just generate, for example, some very basic slides. In this case, I thought about maybe generating some slides about how skills and templates in generally work at Langdoc. So for that, I would use the voice input and just kind of prompt the model to do this for me. I select the template that we created, and then I say, okay, generate some slides using the attached template and explain how the library and also our skills work in Langdoc. Please research this before you generate the slides, and then give me the final presentation so I can download it. It doesn't have to be perfect, so kind of very natural language, right? We can transcribe this, and then one thing that you have to do is select a model. And this is already where you can make some choices. In the beginning, when you're kind of still optimizing your setup, and I will also explain a bit what this means, then it makes sense to choose a more powerful model, a more agentic model, like Opus, for example. These models come at a higher cost, so their token consumption generally is way, way higher. So they're probably not super great to use for if you do this multiple times a day. But to get started and to fine tune, for example, the template description that you saw, and then also build up the skills that I will show you in a second, these models are very, very powerful because their output quality generally is a bit better when it comes to these complex agentic tasks. So here we're going to use Opus 4.6, and if you want to have it even more optimized for these complex tasks, then you can also enable extended thinking. And this is what we can do. We just select the template, and then we send this off. And now what's happening in the background is that actually the model is trying to generate these slides for us based on the template. And what it does is it can look at the slides that we uploaded. It can copy some of them, and then it uses a bash tool, which is basically a way for the model to programmatically edit the slide templates that you uploaded and, for example, change the text, replace the images, move things around a little bit, change the formatting, and so on. And this the model will do to generate a version of this presentation, but that's just in a coding way. So it can only describe this by writing a script, then execute the script, and then know whether it was successful or not. What it does to kind of validate if the slides actually look good is, and you will see this also in a second, is it will take screenshots of the presentation and then use its vision capabilities to analyze, okay, is the text aligned? Does it make sense? Do the slides look as expected? And if not, it will write another script to fix things, then take another round of screenshots and iterate like that. So this is how the slide generation generally works. And all of these templates that you're using, for example, the one that we use in this chat, they can be also managed via the library. So this is one of the features that I mentioned in the beginning. To quickly have a look at it, right, in this library, I currently have 3 templates, a Langdoc invoicing template, so you can also do this with documents, doesn't have to be presentations only. Then the slide template that I prepared already for the session and the one that we created in the beginning. And you can here then, for example, like continue to edit these slide templates. So if you say later on, hey, I want to not only skip slide 1, but also want to skip slide 5, then I can also edit this here and save these changes, and then the model will also not use slide 5. And then you also have access to all of your folders here. Previously, they were known as knowledge folders. Now you can have them, like in the one library, and also manage the sharing and everything here. For templates, it's the same. You can share them with individual people, with anyone in the workspace, as I did here, for example. And as a workspace admin, you can even apply them for all members so that these templates are activated for all users in the workspace. And whenever they say, hey, generate me some slides, then this is kind of the default template that the models have access to. And you can also see all of the files that you generate in Langdoc as part of the presentation generation, but also when working on documents, when generating images in the chats. You have now like one place where you can see them and where you can also say, okay, I want to preview them, for example, like this one where I experimented a bit with generating the opening slide for this presentation. But also you can start a chat with this file or download it and generally like delete it. So manage everything around these files in one place. All right, but let's have a look at our chat that we started. As you can see from the sidebar, it's not yet done because otherwise there would be like a blue little dot. So the model is still working. And one thing that we can see is, for example, that it here took the screenshots that I mentioned earlier to visually check if the slides that it generated are actually nice. And if we look through them, I mean, they already look, not too terrible. But the model found two issues. So one of them is a quote where the text wasn't replaced, and one of them is a headline that's overlapping. So it's fixing them, then having another look at them, and this is kind of this iterative loop of how the slide generation works. And two things that you can do to make this setup like very scalable and work very well is, on the one hand, and now the model is done here, so we can check out the slides soon. But on the one hand is to really fine-tune the template. And fine-tuning the template means going into these instructions and making sure the model uses the right slides for the right content. That's definitely one thing. And then also writing additional skills that help the model to come up with, for example, automatic improvements or structuring slides from a content perspective more the way that you expect it to be, by just introducing these skills. And we will kind of look into that next. First, let's check out the deck, and you can do that by just clicking on it here in the side view. We can also walk through this presentation now once. Looks quite nice. What are skills? Actually, quite a good transition because this is what we're going to look at next. So skills are reusable instructions, so very similar to the template in Markdown format that we just saw. But they're activated automatically whenever the model thinks that this skill might be relevant to cater your use case. So if we look at some things that are relevant for slides, this could be how should you structure slides, how is the tone of voice of your slides, or how do graphics look that are included in your slides, so like this corporate identity of this as well. All of these can be skills, and then the model just knows better how to deliver some of these parts whenever they're relevant for a prompt that you send. All right. It also used here, for example, the different columns. That's very nice, like a big quote. It's actually quite well formatted now. Then for the library, also some text. We kind of looked at this already, so we don't have to go a bit deeper. Here, for example, it didn't replace the image or like kind of the placeholder. So one thing that we could do is we could say, I'll just take a screenshot of can you please generate an image that fits kind of the style of this presentation and put it into page 8, because currently we're just using the template there and that's not very nice. So yeah, something that fits also the slide content would be great. And then just, yeah, you can generate this image and then put it into the presentation. Yeah, and that's kind of the quality loop that you can then do. Check what you like and either prompt it, or what you can also do is you can just like download these slides and then edit them in PowerPoint if it's maybe like just one text box that has to be pulled a bit or get more width, or yeah, some kind of new line that you have to add at some point. But all of these things work, and the models can also yeah, do, for example, generate images and access other things and then integrate them into your slides. Yes, so that's kind of one very basic use case. We just generate a template and then we add a prompt. Not very complex. The model does everything on its own. And now the question is, how can we scale this, right? And one way to scale this is, yeah, basically through these skills. So the skills that I have available in the chat and that the model also used to generate these slides was, for example, the slide template skill. And this slide template skill is actually quite cool. It's basically a collection of all of the things that, yeah, when I in the past generated slides, that the model didn't do as I wanted it kind of to do in a first shot. So yeah, I have this example here. So for example, I yeah, practiced this kind of slide generation use case before, and in this chat gave it like a similar prompt and it generated some slides, and then it missed some things, right? There were some headings that were misaligned and so on. And then at the end of this chat, I said, can you document yeah, the learnings or fixes from this chat, like anything that you didn't do kind of correct the first shot, so I can add this to a skill. And then I opened another chat and I put kind of the output of the learnings from the previous chat of all the things that, yeah, were missed. I put it in here and I said, okay, can you add this to the slide template skill? And then the model just did this, and this is how I can like scalably update the setup without much effort. So at the end of every session, I just say, okay, please check again what things didn't go as planned, and like kind of, yeah, describe to an LLM how it could avoid these things next time when it's building slides, and add this to the presentation skill. So that's one thing. And that's also the main skill that we used here right now that yeah, is relevant for now. But now let's have a look at a more advanced use case. And for this, I actually yeah, looked at a specific sales use case. And for that, I built the Pipeline Analyst, which is an agent that is optimized to, yeah, auto-generating like quarterly reviews for yeah, sales representatives. And it's connected to our Salesforce in this case. So what this agent does is it goes to Salesforce, it fetches all the relevant data for a specific AE, for example, and then generates some charts to visualize the performance and like some important sales metrics of the last quarter. And afterwards, it generates a slide deck that the AE can then use to present it in front of the team as kind of yeah, a presentation of how the last quarter went. And yeah, something that we can do now here is, okay, I just start the agent and then we can have a look together at how it's built, because it's also quite straightforward based on all the things and components that we already looked at. So I'm just going to say, yeah, I care about the Q2 of this year. The target earnings were 2 million and I don't want any additional metrics to be tracked. And then I just send this off. And what the agent does is now it's, yeah, going to Salesforce, fetching all the relevant data, and then, yeah, generating this presentation and so on. And while it's doing that, and we can see here that it's working on that, we can just have a look at how this is built, because it's not very complex. Basically, yeah, I gave it some instructions, and these instructions are mostly focused on which kind of yeah, like data it should pull from Salesforce and how it should perform this analysis of the relevant metrics for a quarterly review of the sales performance. So this is all in here. And then, basically regarding the slide generation part, all I put in the end was, let's see it here, ask the user if you're happy with the content that you generated, and then generate the slides, and the final result should be in the chat and a PowerPoint presentation that the user can work with. So that's the prompt. Also, like these things you can very nicely also generate using LLMs by just using the voice input, like kind of describing what behavior you want, maybe also adding some context about the model that you're using. In this case, for this agent, I decided to go with Sonnet 4.6, already, right? A cheaper model, not as expensive as Opus, but still very high quality for this use case. So kind of a good compromise to also use this agent a bit more. And then with such a model, you can also generate these agent instructions and then just paste them in here. And the most important thing for this now is to give it access to all the relevant features and knowledge that it needs to do these actions. And one of them is the data analyst. Data analyst is needed to generate these charts in the end, so run some Python code and do that, for example. Then we give it access to Salesforce, to our Salesforce integration. Specifically, it should be able to get my current user so that it knows my user in Salesforce, and then execute some queries to fetch the data about my past quarter. And then we have the Langdoc slide content skill, the Langdoc chart style skill, and the slide template skill. The last one we already looked at, but the other ones I will show you now. So basically, they're not very complex, and I also generated them based on some prompts. So here, the chart style skill is just kind of a hint to the model on how it should generate charts. In that case, the visualizations of the sales data for the presentation in our CI. And all I did for that was I uploaded our slides template and I said, look at this style guide and come up with a skill called Langdoc chart style skill that helps you to generate charts in the style of Langdoc. I gave it to the model, and from the chat, these models can generate skills and can also update skills, as you previously saw. And now, it kind of analyzed this a bit, analyzed some hex codes, and also read some other information from these slides, and then generated this skill. This one you can see in here. So it's also, I didn't touch it at all. I also didn't look into it until now. So it has a lot of context about how to do this. And the most important thing when it comes to skills is actually the description. So this description is what the model sees kind of whenever you send it a prompt, then it sees which descriptions are or what the descriptions are of all the skills that are available to it in the current scenario. So in an agent, that's all the skills that you added to the actions. And then based on this description and based on your prompt, it will decide if the model wants to read this skill because it might be helpful to achieve the goal that the user formulated or not. So this has to be quite well formulated. If you feel like your skills are not being used correctly, then this is the place where you have to start by fine-tuning these descriptions. That's the chart style skill. And then we also have where is it actually? I think the other skill we don't even have anymore. But the other skill was a bit more about how do we structure slides at Langdoc. This was also something that I generated by giving it 3-4 slide decks that we already have, and then extracting the tone of voice and the structure and put that into a skill. So all of these skills very easily creatable by using our platform and by using the kind of built-in functionality. All right, but now, as you can see here, our Q2 earnings tracking agent is already done, at least with the first step, which was generating the charts and then asking me for confirmation to build the slides so that we can double check. And what we can do here now is we can have a look at all of these graphs. I think this one looks fine. let's check out this one. This is, okay, the pipeline waterfall, like how many deals were won, lost, or just like generally remaining. And yeah, then also some more visualizations of the amount of deals. I think it looks like fine to me. Obviously, this is all just mock data, so yeah, the data might not be super representative, but the visualizations are quite nice, and also for like not having to prompt anything, I think it's quite nice. So I can just say continue, and yeah, now the agent will continue generating the slides based on the instructions. And as you can see here, it's reading all the relevant skills, it's reading the template. You can also untoggle this and then exactly see what kind of context the agent decides to pull in this scenario. Here it's the slide template skill, so the one where we describe how it should avoid the mistakes that it made before. Then it's using a PPTX skill. That's something that we from our Langdoc side provide to the model on how to work with PowerPoint slides in general. Our Langdoc slide template, so the template that we uploaded in the beginning. And yeah, now it's already starting to implement those. And yeah, I think we can just go back into this chat in like 1 or 2 minutes when it's done. Until then, let's maybe check out the presentation that we created before, because there, I think there was one leftover item that was still to do by the model, which was generating an image and replacing the placeholder. So if we go back to that chat, what we can see now is, okay, it came up with this. I mean, it looks like kind of it has the same colors as some of the slides in here, so it's already quite nice. And I also didn't give it any further instructions. But yeah, it generated an image, and then as you can see, it also put it into the slide, which is like really nice. So if we now open this presentation, and yeah, we can also go through it again. Go to the last slide, then now this generated image is in here, and we can either say that we like it or kind of kick off another iteration. I mean, one thing that's not yet perfect is, for example, like down here, you can see that this Langdoc team, product engineering, there's like a white space missing, but all of these are like just minor details, so I wouldn't worry about it too much in this case. And if you really care about it, then you can also just download the file or like open it in SharePoint and just add the white space yourself and then present it. But like all of this is already like much faster than building this yourself. It's nicely integrated. You can generate the images and insert them in the same turn. So this is kind of the benefit of this use case. And I mean, kind of a similar thing we now will see for the pipeline analyst. It will use these graphics. It will use our slide templates. It will put them in there. And yeah, I think I ran one of these chats before, just in case there's like some time or constraints that we don't make it. But yeah, this is, for example, how it looked like here. So some core metrics, nicely visualized, the slides in there, like some issues, as you can see, with the title. But actually, when you open this in PowerPoint, no, not this one. But when you open it in PowerPoint, so we download it, or even open the PDF, then you can see that this is actually just, in the PDF it is wrong, in the PowerPoint it's not. So yeah, it's more of a, how do you print a PowerPoint to PDF issue? If you open it in PowerPoint, it's completely fine. So this is also sometimes something that is just like off through the visualization or when printing complex PowerPoint slides with some formatting or fonts that are not supported as PDF. But that's all I wanted to show you for now. I hope that you enjoyed this webinar and also have some takeaways, maybe some use cases that you can build based on this. If you have any questions, we have the Q&A section there where our team will also be responding to that. You can also send an email to support@langdoc.com. And also if you have any use cases that you built using our features and that you want to share with us, also feel free to use that email to reach out to us, because we might be adding some of these cool use cases to our website very soon. But for now, I wish you a very nice day, and hope to see you at the next webinar. Thank you for joining.